So hello, today we'll start here portion on the kinematics and theory of machines. So we have already completed module number 1 and 2 about the mechanisms and the different types of joints and such other things, kinematic pairs, etc. So the third and fourth module I will complete later. So now we will start with the fifth module, which says about the friction between the various surfaces. Now this you must have already heard about this term friction between surfaces. We have already studied in the 11th 12th class. Now first we will do a little bit of recapitulation. So in this class we will briefly study about what is meant by friction, okay, and about the different types of friction, and we will also describe these types of friction. So as you already know that no surface can be perfectly made smooth, however we try. Okay, so when a smooth surface, suppose this surface, when you see with the naked eye, it looks like a completely plain surface. But this surface, when we view under the microscope, it appears like this surface. Suppose it appears like this when we see it under a high resolution microscope. So these surface have roughness and some irregularities. Okay, so these things are not viewed under the ordinary eye or a touch or under the our plain view of the eye. So now suppose we place another block above this block. Okay, so now this block also have some irregularities in this surface, and so there will be this surface of this block is this one, and of this surface of the other block it will be like this. So this is of block 2. It also has certain irregularities. So then there will be interlocking of the projecting particles. Okay, so there will be a certain amount of interlocking between these two surfaces due to this irregular particles. Okay, you have understood this basic concept, why there is friction between two surfaces. So now this is not a problem as long as these two blocks are static, or two surfaces are static and does not move against each other. Now when this block, suppose we apply force in this direction, and this lower block is static, so then this block will try to move in this direction. It is when we apply the force in this direction and this block tends to move in this direction of the force against this block, then this force of friction will come into play. As this interlocking, due to this interlocking between these surfaces, this block will tend to oppose the motion due to this force. So when this block tends to move in the tangential direction, due to the interlocking of these particles, this block opposes the motion of the other block. Sorry, not this block, but this. I am sorry to say that not this block, but these projecting particles, which you have seen that are interlocked, it opposes the motion of the upper block. Okay, I repeat that due to this interlocking, this projecting particle opposes the motion of this upper block due to the application of this force over here. I hope you have understood. how friction opposes the motion of a body. Now this opposing force which acts in the direction opposite to the movement of the block, movement of this block, is known as the force of friction. So this force actually acts like this, denoted by this FF. Okay, so this is the force of friction. Now in the context of this theory of machines, we want to say that due to this presence of this friction at every joint in the machine, this force of friction is present. Okay, and this friction arises due to the relative motion between the two parts of a machine, and amount of energy is being wasted in overcoming this force of friction. So this friction force is undesirable, as it results in energy loss in a machine. But we will also see that this force of friction is also important in certain, it also plays a very important role sometimes in nature, like that we are able to walk on a road due to this force of friction. And also this force of friction is desirable in the movement of a rail on a railway track. Okay, and in the transmission of power by belt drive. Okay, and so in these areas the force of friction it's desirable, and it helps in the movement. Also this force of friction is important in while applying brakes, while making a car to reduce the speed or to stop. Okay, so these are the few areas where frictional force helps. Now we'll study about the different types of friction. Okay, I hope you have understood what is this friction. Okay, you can also study from any standard book. So I hope you have understood this concept of how this frictional force comes into play, and in how it acts on a body, and how this frictional force is desirable as well as undesirable depending on the situations. Okay, so this is about the brief explanation about the concept of friction. Now we'll study about the types of friction. Okay, so broadly this friction can be divided into two types, as you all know. These are the static friction and the dynamic friction. Okay, so this comes into play when the body is at rest, and this dynamic friction, where it is being experienced when the body is in motion. Okay, so this is also known as the kinetic friction. And the value of this dynamic or the kinetic friction is less than static friction. So dynamic friction is less than static friction. This is very important. So now this kinetic friction or this dynamic friction, this can be again being subdivided into further types. This can be again divided. One is this sliding friction. Then is rolling friction, and number 3 is the pivot friction. So this sliding friction comes into play when the body, when a body slides over another body, like this. The example which I have shown, suppose this is a body and it slides in this direction, it moves in this direction, so it slides over this body. So this is the sliding friction. Okay, it can slide in this direction. Next is this rolling friction. So this comes into play when one body rolls over another body. So this rolling friction is, a simple example can be this roller. You have seen this road rollers, okay, while during road construction. Okay, so when this road roller moves on this road, okay, the front wheel of this roller, okay, so this is an example of a rolling friction. So rolling friction is also being used in this ball bearings, in ball bearings of cycles. Okay, now this another type of friction. Okay, the another type of friction is this pivot friction. So this is experienced by the body due to the motion of rotation. Due to the rotation. Suppose there is this pivot and another body, it is being able to rotate about this pivot. This is about able to rotate in this direction about this pivot. Okay, so this is this pivot friction. So example of this friction is in the bearings, in footstep bearings. One example is footstep bearings. Now this pivot friction, it can be again being to be divided into two types. That is due to unlubricated surface and between lubricated surfaces. So between lubricated surface and second one is unlubricated surface. So this is a simple thing, pivot friction. That means about a pivot this body can rotate. Okay, another point to be noted is that this rolling friction, this value of this rolling friction is less than sliding friction. Sliding is greater than rolling. Okay, so rolling friction is, value of rolling friction is very less. That is why you use rollers. Okay, so that the force of friction is very less and less energy is being spent to overcome this frictional force. Also, that is why we use there are various applications of this rollers, and its basic objective is to reduce the force of friction. So this is about the broad classification of this friction or the types of friction. Okay, so very simple thing. Okay, so now we'll discuss about this. Discuss briefly about this friction in between in lubricated surfaces and friction in the unlubricated surfaces. As you can see over here. So let us friction in, first we'll do that friction in the, so second one we'll do first, friction in unlubricated surfaces. This is simple. So this is actually a friction between two dry surfaces, and this is also known as the solid friction. It is also known as the solid friction. Okay, so due to the unlubricated, as there are no lubricants present, so the surfaces are very rough surfaces. So this is known as the solid friction due to rough surfaces. Due to rough surface. So the example of this solid friction is this sliding and rolling friction. So sliding and rolling friction is a type of are examples of the friction between unlubricated surfaces. Now we come to the first one, that is the friction between the lubricated surfaces. Lubricated surface. So very simple, that when we apply some lubricant like oil or grease between the surfaces which are in contact, then this friction is known as the friction between lubricated surfaces, and this can be further divided. To this boundary friction, also known as this greasy friction. So this boundary friction, it is the friction between the surfaces. It is the friction between the two surfaces when they have a very thin layer of lubrication. When they have a very thin layer of lubrication. Or thin layer of lubricant. When I have a thin layer of, I hope you know what is a lubricant. Okay, this is a oil can be said to be a lubricant. So we apply oil, you see, when we apply oil to machine parts, okay, when they make noise, we apply oil which acts as a lubricant and reduces the frictional force. Okay, so basically this thin layer, it means that it is a molecular dimension. It is very less of micrometer, of dimensions of say micrometer, molecular dimension to the extent of a few micrometers. So this lubricant, it forms a bond. This lubricant forms a bond so this lubricant, this forms a boundary, and also that it can be said that it forms a thin film. This lubricant forms a thin film, and it is absorbed by the surfaces. Suppose there is these two surfaces, and this lubricant over here, you can see this forms a thin film, and due to this bonding, that when you move this block over another block, this thin film which is being formed between the surfaces, okay, so this results in less amount of opposing force. Okay, so this is how the boundary friction it works. Okay, and another thing is that it follows the laws of solid friction. This boundary friction follows the laws of solid friction. So this is about the boundary friction. The second one we'll study about the fluid friction, or the lubricated surface fluid friction. So this fluid friction, this comes into play when the layer of lubricant is thick. When the layer of lubricant is thick. So what happens is that here the two surfaces, as the layer of lubricant is very thick, so the surfaces, they actually do not come in contact and thus do not rub against each other. Suppose this surface is there and another surface is there, and this small, you can see this is a thick layer of lubricant. This is the thick layer of lubricant. So as the layer is thick, so it is not necessary that these two surfaces come in contact with each other, and they can move without any real contact between these two surfaces. So it is very easy to move, as the force of friction will be much less than the previous one. So this fluid friction, it does not depend upon the surface which is in contact. Okay, but it depends upon the viscosity of the lubricant. So this depends on the very important point. Depends on the viscosity of the lubricant. Viscosity of the lubricant. So in this type of fluid with less amount of viscosity is more desirable in this fluid friction. So this is the classification of the friction. The different types of friction. Will continue with the discussion on friction in the next class, where we will discuss about other concepts like this limiting friction, okay, and the different laws of friction, okay, and later about the friction in other clutches, gears. Okay, so we close our discussion of this class over here. I hope you have understood this concept. These are very simple concepts. This is only a recapitulation. Okay, so thank you.